Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are saying goodbye to the Admiral Hipper. Yes, the time has come to say goodbye and move on to the Rune. For everyone that does not know, I've been working the German line since it first came out. Got stuck on the York and for the longest time could not get past the York, but finally we are going on to the Rune and then eventually the Hindenburg. Once we get up there, all I have to do is actually just sell the ship and then I can actually purchase the Rune. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and talk about her before that, and then we'll show a replay, kind of showing off her skills. And I really do. I think that Admiral Hipper is such an improvement compared to the York. Sorry, my brain had a moment. So let's quickly look at her stats. 43,800 armor ranging from 20 to 80 millimeters, and this, just so you know, is pre 5.11. So I can't actually show you where the armor sits, which is unfortunate. Artillery is where she is really fantastic. She has 4 turrets, 2 guns each, 203 millimeters. The shells will do a whopping AP damage of 5,900, and they penetrate really heavily. So whenever you're in a German cruiser, you want to use AP when you're ever facing a broadside. You can do pretty good damage. Let's see. Reload time is a little bit slow, 13 seconds. Turn time on the turrets, 20.7 seconds. Dispersion is very tight, 144 millimeters for a range of 17.7 kilometers. So very tight. Max HE damage is lousy, 2,500. Chance of fire, 16%. And I did go, just for everyone that does not know, I went for Demolition Expert. Now, it might be actually more beneficial having advanced firing training, so that increases your AA. But I went for Demolition Expert, so in case I do need to fire HE, I have a higher chance of fires. And you get 16%. That's really nice. So 13% after or before the Demolition Expert. Secondary guns are pretty nice. These right here, they have 4.7 kilometers. Once again, if I had the advanced firing training, they would go out to, I believe, about 5.5 kilometers, something like that. Sounds about right. You have 6 of those. Yeah, 6 of those, dual 105 millimeters, so not bad. Torpedoes, I don't know how long the Germans actually keep their torpedoes. I'm hoping they keep them all the way up to the Hindenburg. I don't rightfully remember. You have 4, 2 on each side, 2 on port, 2 on starboard, 3 torpedoes each. Reload time is 68 seconds, turn time 6 seconds, max damage 13,700, and range is 6 kilometers. So they're not bad. They aren't bad. They're great. I've had instances where I'm going up against North Carolinas and other battleships and very tight space, and those torpedoes do save your life. AA defense is pretty good. You have 4 dual 20 millimeters that go out to 2 kilometers, 6 quad 20 millimeters that also do 2 kilometers, 18 single 40 millimeters. Average damage is 148 and range is 3.5 kilometers. And then your secondaries also work as additional AA. And once again, if you went with advanced firing training, that will increase your range and at least increase your damage output against planes. So there's always that. There's different routes. I just went with Demolition Expert just in case I need to. I can use my HE. It's still viable. Max speed is 32 knots. Turning circle rate it's not bad. 740 meters. Rudder shift time is 8.6 seconds. And concealment, and I probably should point this out right now, my captain is a 15-point captain. Well, the ship, but he has concealment expert. But the ship, has 10.9 kilometers by sea and 7.1. So very nice. You do have a little bit of a kind of concealment, and I'm kind of curious. Can I actually invisify her? Let's see. That's actually not where I need to look. I need to look right here. So after firing is 17 kilometers. So I have 0.7 where I can actually invisify her. That's something I did not know. Did not actually think about that until now. Modules, she is fully upgraded. I went for the basics, what I always do. Main armaments, modification 1. Aiming system, modification 1. Damage control system on 1. Steering gears, and then I went for concealment systems because it's nice to be a little bit stealthy. And my captain really hasn't changed. I went for basic firing training, expert marksman, superintendent, demolition expert, and concealment expert. So, you know, the usual. Generally, this is almost what I always do. I really don't know why, but I just kind of like that configuration. So anyway, without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the replay, and then we are saying goodbye to the Admiral Hipper. You are such an improvement over the York. I love you. All right. See you guys there. Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to the replay with the Admiral Hipper. And let's quickly take a look at the teams and we'll go from there. So we are playing on Trap. On our team we have 2 North Carolinas, 2 Sean Horse, a New Mexico, Hipper, Togo, Cleveland, Bajani, 2 Fibugis, and Mahan. On the enemy team there is a North Carolina, a Tirpitz, Gneisenau, Nagato, New Mexico, 2 New Orleans, York, ARP, Ashigara, Nuremberg, Benson, and a Fubuki. So we spawned on the more northern side of the map, and we're gonna move to sea. And I really have to say, I do love the ship. I am sad to kind of see her go. And if anyone that is working up through the German line and has issue with the York, keep going through it. You really want to get up to the Admiral Hipper. That's where it really does show her beauty and the quality of the German line, because you go from the Königsberg to the Nuremberg, and those are very, very situational ships and very easy to citadel, so those are kind of an issue. Now I do something that I really don't do that often. Now you can see here the enemy battleship has been detected, and I start slowing up, and I actually realize this island would be a perfect place to sit behind and shoot. And since the Admiral Hipper, granted, does not have very lobbying shells, but it has fantastic range, and you can see there's a enemy York, 17 kilometers, just came in within our range, and we're gonna start firing at him. And there's other ships coming in as well, so we will be firing at them at the same time. But the Admiral Hipper, with at least my 15-point captain, does have a slight invisifiring range that she can use, but that York is too close to us. But fortunately the island is going to be blocking our ship, so we can at least fire without being detected, and I will stay undetected for quite a while. Now granted, this is maybe not the most interesting, but I really did not want to take my chances of pushing up forward and possibly getting hit by that enemy turbine. So we're going to sit back here and we're going to kind of fire at this York. And I will say, this York captain was actually a really good captain. He dodged, he kept constantly moving. It was actually very difficult to get a good landing shot on him. You can see there we got only 1 penetration, not a lot of damage. But now he's on fire, and we do have a Mahan and a Fubuki and a Togo up in sea, currently fighting. Now the Mahan's gonna make a mistake that's gonna eventually cost him his life. He's gonna be a little bit too aggressive, because one thing you do need to keep in mind, the York has hydroacoustics, and the German line of the hydroacoustics is actually really good because it has a much longer range. Like for example, the Admiral Hipper has, I believe it's about 5.65, something like that. And the Mahan is going to get a little bit too close to the York. And at the exact same time, I went a little bit further back than I intended. We almost ran into that Sean horse right behind us, but fortunately we stopped and we pulled forward so we can get our shots around this island. Now you can see the Mahan has smoke, but he's still getting fired on by that York because of the hydroacoustics that the York does have. So the Mahan's not going to survive for very much longer, and if you're a destroyer captain, you should be aware of German line hydroacoustics. It is really, really good. We took a shot at the York. He's kind of turning away, so I'm going to bring my attention on the New Orleans. And the New Orleans is the Tier 8 U.S. cruiser. And broadside has a decent-sized citadel. But from bow on, it's very hard to penetrate. And just saw right there, the friendly Mahan just went down to the New Orleans. But we're alright. I mean, our team has moved kind of down to B. The enemy team has captured B at this point. And we got 3 citadels on that New Orleans. 3 citadels. This is why I like the Admiral Hipper so well. Just because of the fantastic penetration and higher value as far as citadels are concerned. So it has really good alpha damage. Really good. And the enemy turrets did go down to the enemy Atago, which was really nice. And once again, pulled back a little bit too far. Now I'm going to go ahead and get further. And there's the New Orleans. He has an island just to his right. And there's not really a lot of places to go. So I aimed a little bit down and a little bit forward. Let's see how these shots go. And we got another citadel, leaving him on about 4,000 points of death, 4,000 points of health. And the enemy New Orleans went down. And look at this Nuremberg. What was that Nuremberg doing? He essentially stopped. I don't know if he lost connection, but he just stopped right in the middle, and we were able to get another citadel on him and take him out. So very nice indeed. Well, that took care of 3 of their ships, at least on sea. There's still the enemy York still around, and it would be nice if we got another kill. Hopefully we can get a kill on this York. That is at least my hope. Now our team is kind of falling away from A. There are, I think, 3 battleships, a cruiser. Actually, there's actually 4 battleships down there. So, yeah, they're doing a really good job holding on. But that York was so close to being ours. But unfortunately, the friendly North Carolina took out the enemy York. What is that North Carolina? Is he's right there. Okay, good. I was like, is he hiding all the way in the back? Now, my Admiral Hipper has a detection range of 12 kilometers. You can see we're still being detected, not by plane, but by regular detection. Now we're not. And as I'm pointing out in chat, I'm like, there's a destroyer around. Let's get after him and be aware, because there is a North Carolina, and he has actually got torpedoes sent at him. Did not see that in game, but he did have torpedoes incoming. And we're detected once more, and he's getting really close to that island. I'd be extremely nervous if I was at North Carolina. So we know there's at least a destroyer in B. And with the Admiral Hipper, she comes with a plane, which is fantastic, especially if it goes right over an area where torpedoes are incoming, but also hydroacoustics. And listen to the new sound effect of the hydroacoustics. I just love that sound. But there the Benson popped up, I believe, due to the fact of the Cleveland. Now he does pop smoke, and he believes he's safe. He would be. He would be if there was not a German cruiser with hydroacoustics up and ready, which we do have running. So I was a little concerned about torpedoes, but fortunately I think he was actually not concerned about torpedoes because he was trying to hide from the Cleveland. And Admiral Hipper has 6 torpedoes on the starboard and 6 on the port, so I do fire them, maybe get a lucky shot, who knows. But we come in range of the Benson, and we have hydroacoustics, so he's visible, and now everyone's just going to start pummeling on him. Now there's also one benefit of the hydroacoustics. You can see where torpedoes are being fired at. And, oh, yep, there's torpedoes. And turn away just so we don't get killed. And we get close quarter expert for our 2nd kill. Very, very nice. And one also thing to keep in mind, I haven't taken damage. I haven't taken damage at all. which is fantastic. Now, one great thing about the Admiral Hipper is its AP is fantastic against broadside battleships. As you probably will see, I believe, when we get a little bit closer to these enemy battleships. AP is also fantastic against the cruisers, any broadside cruisers, even bowed cruisers, it can still penetrate some. The HE is a bit iffy, honestly. It's not that great. It's nothing compared to the Japanese line or even the American line. The American line has decent HE, but don't, you know, just don't use it. Use it when you need to, because as you saw there, I was using HE against that destroyer just so I can incapacitate stuff, and we did get a fire. Thanks to my demolition expert, that definitely does help. So he's burning, and it looks like the North Carolina actually had damage control up because the fire didn't stay. So I'm assuming he had damage control up, so he did not actually take that much damage from that fire, which is highly unfortunate. Now, the Admiral Hipper may not have the best HE or the high reload on the guns, but the German line does a fantastic job, especially if you're going towards smoke or being around an island because of that hydroacoustics. The range really does help you, and it's probably one of the better things if you're trying to go after a destroyer. I do have, which I'll probably pop in, maybe, or I might put it on Fun Day Sunday. That's what I'll do. I'll do it on Fun Day Sunday, where I had destroyers, and yeah, it was really good having the Admiral Hipper. Now, we did fire at the New Mexico that is broadside to us. Let's see how much damage we can get. About 2,000 points of damage, but that was with 3 shells. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world. I've seen damage rolls as high as maybe 5,000 or 6,000, something like that. Looks like I let him a little bit too much. 1 penetration, and we got about 2537. Not bad. Now, I misjudged the aim on this, because you can see his engine is on fire. So his engine is out, and we do get a bounce there, which is unfortunate. So his engine is on fire, and so it's hard to actually kind of gauge whether or not where or how fast he's going. And so my salvo is going to be missing, but I think he's going to go down due to this fire, which is fantastic. Good. The Fubuki, actually, no, sorry. The Fubuki took him down with the torpedo. He was flooding. I thought he was on fire, but he wasn't. Now, I'm being very aggressive, and I'm starting to get to a point where, oh, there's a enemy Nagato, and his guns are pointed right at me. Let's see, fire a salvo. And, oh, crap, he's firing a salvo. Turn, hard to port, dodge. And fortunately, all his salvo does miss us. Fantastic. Fire again. Let's see if we can get some more damage. And the North Carolina took out the enemy Gneisenau. Very nice. 1 penetration and 2 over penetration got us about 3,000 points of damage. Very, very nice. And you can see that I'm being extremely careful. I don't want to show broadside because you can get easily citadel. Obviously, you're a cruiser. So I shot down the plane, and that means I'm not detected. So I can actually start slowing up. But unfortunately, I'm just moving too fast, and I'm going to be sitting behind this island before this game ends. So, not a bad game. Probably wasn't the greatest game for the Admiral Hipper, but still a really good game. Still shows off her abilities and what she can do. But I'm going to see you guys at the victory screen in just a second. So, our team won due to points. We earned 260,385 silver, 5,425 XP, 272 free XP, and we got a 1 medal of close quarter expert. Not bad. We earned about 53,451, 50 shell hits, 1 plane shot down, 1 incapacitation, 2 kills, 1 fire, 5 citadels, 2 defended base cap, 1 assisted capture, and 5 secondary battery hits. We earned 2nd as far as base XP, 1,764, and we received no damage. Granted, yes, it wasn't the most exciting game, but it really does portray the ability of the Admiral Hipper, which is fantastic. So I thought it was a decent game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. After all our expensive, we earned 172,005 silver. Not bad. Not bad. We didn't have to do any repair, but we did have to do some service. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Base and XP, we earned 5,425. So not bad. But this is going to be it for this video, and we are saying goodbye to the Admiral Hipper. Goodbye. I'm going to miss you. You were a fantastic ship. I did really enjoy my time with this ship. Hopefully the rune will just be as good, but kind of what I've been hearing, not so much. We'll see how this goes. So if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.